The Speedland GS TAMs, a review that has been heavily requested from my friends over on Instagram. The shoe that everyone that has it says they love it, and everyone that hates on it really only hates on the price, which is pretty high. Let's talk about if that's the right price and what you're getting for that price, and really what an honest guy who's on a teacher's salary that just likes to try out equipment thinks of these shoes. So first, the elephant in the room, guys, I will talk about price and price quickly. Yeah, some people would say they're very, very expensive, but as somebody that's been in small business, somebody that's been in a craft industry, owned a craft brewery, I know that small craft things sometimes cost a little bit more money, and sometimes things are specialist, or you have a special type of equipment that makes the price go up. Now, am I saying that's true here? No, but I'm saying if these can have certain things and certain craft properties that big corporations can't push, the price might be right. That's why I keep saying the right price. Because if I told you that one ice cream was $5 and one ice cream was $20 and you looked at just their face value, you would say, I want the $5 ice cream. But then you find out that the 20 ice cream had 10 times as much ice cream. And you're like, oh man, I didn't ask myself enough details. That's kind of what's happening with the shoe. People see the price and they forget about all the other details that might make it worth the price. As far as the specs, guys, I'm not going to waste your time with that. You guys can look them up and compare grams and things like that. You really need to ask yourself, and just like we talked about the right price, we could talk about the right weight. What are you going to be using these for? Do you want a really, really light shoe and that's all you think about, but because they're really, really light, they have low stability in technical terrain, so you're going to roll your ankles? Or do you want a little bit more weight with a little bit more, these are the questions that you have to ask yourself when you're looking at things that weight. You can't just see their face value and say, oh, this shoe is 280 grams, this shoe is 240 grams, I'm getting the 240. I've made that mistake and I've rolled ankles in technical terrain. But as somebody that runs in Asics, I've ran in Brooks, they don't feel too heavy. They're the right weight for me for how stable that they feel, okay? First thing is these BOAs. We've heard about the BOAs. They click, 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 click. I love that. As somebody that came from the cycling community and somebody that also fidgets with my laces a lot, just the ability to be getting ready for a downhill and just bend over, click, 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 tighten them up a little bit, get to the bottom of that descent and get more on flat, and then click, click, click back. That just makes it's just a peace of mind for me. That's worth some money to me. It's worth being able to say, oh, my shoes don't feel right now, click. My shoes don't feel right now, click. Now, I will say, if you're going to enter this and you get these shoes, I guess the first inclination is to over tighten these. And I did the same with bike shoes. When people get these, they think yeah, let's go for this. Let's really tighten them down. You wouldn't jack your laces on your shoes, right? So if you start to feel some pain in the top of your foot when you first start wearing these, loosen them up a little bit. There always is a first feeling to want to over tighten these because you can get them super, super tight. And every time I wear them looser and looser and looser. But the ability to bend over and just tighten them up, is worth the extra grams to me, and for me, was worth a couple extra dollars. So now the toe box and how it feels in the front of my foot. These are definitely not narrow. They fit true to size for me. I've heard some people say, let's go up a size, let's go down a size. I walk around like my walking shoes are 10.5s. My runners and my trainers are usually 11. These are 11, and I haven't had any issues. The toe box is nice. It's nice and wide. To be honest, when I run, the thing that I like most about these when I've been running is soft, sandy terrain. Living on Long Island, we have a ton of sandy trails, and these things are like wearing powder skis in powder. They have a really, really nice wide footprint. Really, I feel like I'm just floating on top of sand. And that's not been true with other narrower shoes that I've worn. These are nice and wide. I don't have terribly wide feet, but I would say I wouldn't wear a wide shoe, but I definitely don't have Nike narrow. Even the Hokas are a little bit narrow for me. I haven't had a problem. I wear Brooks and Asics. That's kind of where my wide foot is. I don't have a weird foot shape or anything like that, but the toe box and the feel in there is pretty good. They are a stiffer shoe, especially with the carbon, okay? And I kind of like that stability. I think I would probably take the carbon plate out If I go over 50K, that's kind of like what I'm trying to figure out right now. The longest run I've done on these is about 18 miles with the carbon plate, and it hasn't been a problem. You get that responsiveness of the carbon plate, which you love, but what I've really liked and what I've been looking for in a shoe is stability this way. Somebody weak ankles, I've rolled ankles, I just have that fear. The stability this way is really, I think, what makes the carbon plate. When I take the carbon plate out, I don't have as much of that stiffness. I guess, I don't know, what's it, laterally? Is that the technical term? But when I have the carbon plate in there, and maybe it's a little bit mental, I just feel like my shoe is under me. It doesn't want to do this. It doesn't want to do this. And it definitely doesn't want to, like, it has just enough twist and just enough flex to give me the feeling of comfort and confidence that I need going downhill. The back of the heel cup, just enough padding. Feels just right for me. I wouldn't say it needs any more or any less. That's really all I want to say about it. Like, I like the amount of padding that's in the heel cup. It's just right for me. There is no like tongue. It kind of just opens up here. You slide your foot in and then you tighten it down. Maybe this could be just like a little bit tightened, a little bit smaller across the top of the foot. Maybe like when I really want to lock them down, I feel like it folds a little bit. Let me see if I tighten it down. Like sometimes I'll get that little bit of fold right here. Not enough to like give me a blister or for me to even notice. Sometimes I just pop it out with my finger and that's not a big deal. But maybe if they took like just a little bit over the top, that's fine, but not anything that's worth it. It's nice and comfortable. Like I said, very, very comfortable shoe to wear. Now the wear and tear, I know is going to be a popular question, and that's really what's going to make these worth the money in my opinion. So like I said, these have 100 miles on them. They do not have really any road. So they have packed trail and pretty much soft sandy trail. And this is the tread after those 100 miles. And I got to be honest, I kind of like where they're at. I wouldn't say like they're overly worn right now. The breathability of this outsole is really good. They have a really, really fancy material. I don't remember the term for it. You can look it up, but it's pretty hot here right now. My feet don't sweat. They drain. I have gone through water crossings in these. Drain right out here. They have a little drain hole in the bottom that you can cut and customize if you want that. I didn't cut it last time. I didn't say like, oh man, I wish I had it cut. But I don't really see a reason not to cut it. So next time I'm going out and I know I have to cross some water, I'll probably open that up. Inside, in the sole, there are the holes, the drainage holes that go right to that drain. It's kind of nice. You know, they're definitely moving towards like a customizable piece of equipment. Like it's not just a shoe. It's customizable. They want you to say, all right, I have this shoe. Just like you buy a ski boot, you buy skis, you can get different bindings, you can swap out. Like I think they're trying to really get to the spot where they can have a customizable shoe. And, you know, like adding the carbon plate, taking it away for different things, having this hole that you could put in there or not having it. It's really up to you. Things like that. As I just mentioned, I think that outsole is really going to be like the big price factor for me. Like granted, I'll pay a little bit of extra money to have the BOAs, but other shoes have BOA technology. Maybe not the forward and reverse, like the loosen and the tighten. Most of the time, if you have a bike shoe, if you over tighten, you have to pop it out. It fully releases. Then you have to find that again. So it is nice to know a spot and be able to like click 1, 2, come back 1. That is really nice. But other shoes do have that. So does that make it 100% worth the money? I don't know. The comfort stability piece and being able to remove the carbon plate and put that out, is that worth a couple extra dollars to me? Yeah, frankly it is. And I'll see that more when I go up to those bigger distances and I can remove the carbon plate for a little bit more comfort and feel underfoot. They are not the cushiest shoes, right? But they're comfortable. Like I said, you got to find that right medium. When I'm on technical terrain, I don't want to be floating on clouds. I want that feeling underfoot. I wouldn't run a road marathon in these, definitely not, because there's definitely more cushy shoes out there. But if you look at them for what they're designed for, they have just amount of comfort for me and what I need them to do. But I've heard tales on the internet that these outsoles are going to last me more than traditional shoes. If you weren't Hoka's, you know, you're getting rid of those things after like 250 miles. And those are about what, 150 bucks, 160, even 170. For me, if I can get double that, if I can get 500, 600 miles, then essentially I just bought 2 shoes in one. So that means they're really $150 per buy if they're a $300 shoe. If the outsoles can last me that 500, 600 mile, like I said, not using them on road, just using them on trail, I think that to me would justify the $300 price tag. Because then I'm really buying 2 shoes or 1.5 shoes with the BOA, with the breathability, with the able to customize, with the carbon plate. That's, I think, what a lot of people that own the shoe and talk about how much they like it, they don't really talk about all of those things compound to add to the value of the shoe, which makes it worth it in my opinion. Not to mention, I like supporting people, not businesses. And if you've ever watched Dave and if you've ever watched Kevin speak, the owners of Speedland, if you've ever watched them speak, you want to support them. And if you've ever seen the athletes that they support, not me, bought those, but what's up guys? If you ever like see those athletes, those are the athletes that you look up to and you want to be around. So the whole brand, yeah, is it like a little bit of a fanboy movement? Probably, but for good reason, in my opinion. Now, I'd love to try some of their competitors like Norda that are up in that price tag, and I probably will because I like to buy things and try them and then hate on them if I will. I don't just like to look at a price tag and be like, no, F that noise. That's not the type of person that I am. I'd rather buy it and know for myself. If I'm still feeling strong with these guys at 600 miles, I'm definitely going to buy another pair. They have a Cameron Hanes coming out with a different colorway. I'm a Cam Hanes fanboy, that is definitely for sure, so I'll probably be getting those. I'm really, really happy with them. They are at the higher end of the price point, but like I said, as a piece of equipment, this is something that I love to do, and I don't want to roll any more ankles. So until I find something that's better, right now, this is my terrain, like technical trail shoe moving forward. If I miss any nuanced things, guys, leave them down in the description and let me know your opinions and try and leave me an opinion without talking about the price. I dare you. Have a good day, guys.